Developing today, political ramifications growing over the president's threat to impose tariffs on all Mexican goods unless the country slows down the flow of immigrants crossing the border. Several Republicans in Congress slamming the president's threat. Senator Joni Ernst saying this isn't the right path forward. Senator Chuck Grassley says this is a misuse of presidential authority. Let's bring in Bishop Garrison, co-founder of the Joseph Rainey Center for Public Policy, and Republican strategist Brian Darling, founder and president of Liberty Government Affairs. Guys, you should know the president's already up and out and tweeting about this today, pushing back on those that are opposing him. That said, what does it mean, Bishop, for the president's plan that both Democrats and Republicans are pushing back on it?
Good morning. It means that he's taken advice from the wrong individuals, particularly his aides that don't understand.
Has he taken advice from any individuals? Seriously on this, because you have three major ones. I mean, senior advisor Jared Kushner, the Treasury Secretary, the U.S. Trade Representative. They're saying don't do this.
Yes, and then you have apparently, according to reports, Stephen Miller, who is not an expert in trade or the economy, that are telling him this is a good idea and it's horrific. It's going to be terrible for the American economy. It's going to be terrible for manufacturers. It's going to be terrible for American jobs. We're looking at a country whose exports to us are somewhere in the neighborhood of $350 billion. And in turn, we export to them about $260 billion. This is going to have long-term, long-standing ramifications if it goes ahead.
Okay, Brian, let's point out one thing. There is an election next year, and conventional wisdom is such that if the economy is really strong, that's very good for an incumbent or anybody trying to get elected, right? So why would the president be doing this? Why would he be going against the advisors who are telling him, who have economic backgrounds, who say, don't go there because this could lead to an unstable economy? I mean, why is he doing this?
I think one explanation is that it's possible the president's just threatening these tariffs. I think it's possible he's just trying to hammer and bully the Mexicans into doing more in immigration so he can take credit if they come to an agreement where Mexico agrees to do more to stem the flow coming from Mexico. So, you know, I have heartburn over tariffs. I understand the president using tariffs against China as a means to leverage more free trade. But one of the big problems with this is the whole idea of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement is to get rid of tariffs. So imposing tariffs at this point probably wouldn't be great for the economy, but hopefully this is just a way to leverage a better relationship with Mexico with regard to immigration.
So you think that by his bullying and with the Mexican president saying that he is now considering, I guess, tightening up their immigration rules, although they've pointed out Mexico has turned back thousands of immigrants from Central America on its borders for sure. But you think these meetings on Wednesday may prove to be fruitful and the president could pull back then and not institute 5% tariffs as of a week from Monday? Is that what you're saying?
I would hope so. I mean, if you look at the way that these tariffs go up every month by 5%, it seems very unrealistic. It seems like a tactic more so to get them to the table than to actually implement real tariffs.
I would argue that unrealistic tariffs is not economic theory, that bullying is not economic theory. We're talking about we're talking about policies that are going to have ramifications not just for America and Mexico, but we are now a global economy. We have been for decades. We're globally connected to other countries through our industries, and these are going to have a big effect on everything from televisions and computers to agriculture and car manufacturing.
Okay. Guys, I want to get to this issue. It was a big moment in Washington this week when Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell made big waves when he was asked what's going to happen if there's a Supreme Court vacancy next year, election year. Remember, he blocked President Obama's Supreme Court nominee in 26 because he said, you know, you can't fill a seat in an election year. Let's see if he still believes that. Here it is.
If the Supreme Court justices decide next year, what would you do?
We'd fill it.
Oh, Brian, can you see how Democrats think that's highly hypocritical?
Do I need a dramatic drinking of water, too? I think maybe not hypocritical. Well, it's hypocritical, but let's be honest. If you look at the Constitution says very clearly that the Senate provides a role of advice and consent. And when Harry Reid got rid of the filibuster and everything but Supreme Court nominees, and then Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell just completed that task by getting rid of the filibuster on Supreme Court nominees, there goes all of your comedy on the issue. There goes your bipartisanship. There's no reason for Republicans ever to listen to Democrats in nominations while they control the Senate. So they can just steamroll Democrats and make up any rule they want to. And that's actually okay because that's part of the Constitution.
Last quick word to you, Bishop, on this.
Merrick Garland, Merrick Garland, Merrick Garland. This is going to be the legacy of Mitch McConnell, a legacy that he has earned and deserves. This is incredibly un-American, as hypocritical, as disgusting, to be quite frank.
All right, Bishop and Brian, we will go at it again next weekend, I'm sure. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.